What's up, guys? Today's recipe is going to blow your mind. That's right, I'm making this unreal duck situation. In French, it's called canard sur le coffre. First step, we're gonna make the most amazing duck jus / duck sauce. Basically, what we're gonna do is roast the fuck out of these bones. But first, I need to cut these into smaller pieces because the smaller you cut them, the more flavor you can get out of them. So I have the back of a duck here, and I have 2 full-size duck wing, which is packed with flavor, packed with collagen. It's gonna make the best gravy in the world. So, like I said, this is not really a cleaver, I guess, but it's, it's the hardest knife I have. So we're gonna use it and see if it can get through those bones. So first in the joint here, perfect. See this one, we can cut in half. Okay, see? That's the sound of duck that's been drying. See? Yeah, it sounds like dominoes. If you're in a household / studio like here, the best thing is to put your duck on a cooling rack like this in the fridge. And you can, push it to like 2, 3, 4 days. The best friend of drying is air circulation. So if you have a big fridge, even better. Small fridge, that's the result of drying for 3 days. And it's, nice and dry, which will give us the crispiest skin. Also enhance the flavors of the duck. There's nothing bad about drying your meat, even like a steak or any type of meat you're gonna sear before. Dry that shit, baby.
Do you leave it overnight uncovered, or do you cover it, or?
Always uncovered. That's the whole principle of drying on a cooling rack. And then why use a cooling rack? Because you also have air circulation going underneath. And if not, it will be kind of like some sort of like juicy situation on the tray. It wouldn't dry properly underneath. So always have a cooling rack, and then uncovered. And just, look at it. Like, let's say you put it overnight, the next morning, okay, it's becoming more dry than I expected. Maybe it's good to pull it out or cover it. But honestly, you can dry shit for a long time. It's better. Dry your meat, boys and girls. If you guys want to buy the same as these, I can put these on the Amazon wish list in the description. I love these. I think it's Nordic wear, made in the USA. It's amazing. All right. The smaller you cut your pieces of any meat, really any bones, the more surfaces you can get color in. It's gonna take less time, and it's just gonna give it more flavor. Oh, this is gross. Does anyone in the following has this phobia where like the small holes fucking freak you out? Look how gross this is. That's good for the wings. And now we have the back here, the back section. Always make sure you get the most fat off before you make your stock. There's no need for fat. Even this here, I can maybe get the skin off. Keep this meat here, because duck's already super fatty anyways, and it's not gonna bring anything good to your stock. You probably have to remove it anyways afterwards, so I would just discard all fat. I have a very, very hot stainless steel saucepan. And why using stainless? I feel like this is the best kind of pans to get a crazy fond at the bottom to build this flavor base for our sauce. But you can also do cast iron, but I feel like even this, to get a nice deglaze, it just works well, All right, so all the bones can go in, no fat at all. Oh, this is gonna fucking for sure go in fire, like right now. Medium high is good, Make sure it keeps searing like that. You see that in the pan? It's already nice and fatty. And I didn't add any oil, any butter, any duck fat, because there's a bunch of fat in the duck already. So always keep in mind it's gonna render out a lot of fat. There's already too much fat in there. So what we wanna do at this point is take some fat out of the pan. So just in a strainer like this. Time to send the bones back in there. Perfect. Okay, cool. Now, while we get this thing roasting nicely in the pan, we're gonna start cutting our aromatics. So shallot in half. You can just slice those like this. So I'm gonna go with 3 shallots because I want some good flavor in there. We can already add all of this here. Right now we are building the base of our sauce. I'm also gonna put some garlic in there. Maybe just like, this much here is good. This can go right in there too. We are going to add some rosemary in there, because rosemary and orange and cranberry, it's like some things are just meant to be, together. It's like, Just like ketamine and people in London, you know, the same. It's just, it goes well together, you know? London people, I know you like a good K-hole. I see you. London, let's go. Oh yeah, look at this. Everything's nicely coloring right now. I have those amazing blood oranges. I think it's gonna add some crazy flavor and color. I wanna get the peel in there and the juice as well. So we're gonna do some nice peels of orange. Make sure you don't take off too much because then it's gonna become very bitter because the white part here is super bitter. So peels off like this, like this. Oh man, it smells so good. Peels in, beep. And I want to add the orange juice afterwards. Now you guys know me, you know, it's maybe for the show, but it's also good for flavor. I like to do a little flambe here and there, so orange liqueur with orange and cranberries, it just makes sense. So careful for your eyes, for your hair, for everything. It's gonna fucking go crazy. Woo! Woo! Okay, now the flame is dead. We have no more liquid in there. It's now time to add, obviously, some red wine. Guys, listen to me very carefully here. Very carefully. If your deglaze doesn't sound like this or something close to it, you're doing it wrong, you know? Some people are too shy with the searing and the coloration. You want a very nice, rich, dark stock or sauce, you gotta take it to the edge of being burnt. Just like you have like this little, like, you know, this little window of like perfectly colored to burnt. That's where you deglaze. And that goes for you too, Mr. Fancy Chef. I've seen you put this champagne and half a bottle of red wine and a cream sauce in the cream. You know, it's like, that's insane, okay? That sauce looked fucking trash. Actual trash. Sorry, Fancy Chef, I love you, but you know, figure it out. Everything is reducing nicely. You wanna really like make sure like reduce this thing to almost like, you know, 90%. I guess you wanna reduce it to 90% or have 10%, I don't know, you know what I mean? 10% left of the liquid. Perfect. So I'm gonna straight up put these right in there. Beep, beep. And now this is gonna bring some sweetness, but also some acidity to cut into this rich, fatty ducky sauce. We're gonna even add some cranberries for some extra acidity and some tartness. We're gonna add at the very end some fresh orange juice. And last but not least, for aromatics, we're gonna add some whole black peppercorn for a bit of heat, a bit of spicy, a bit of, you know, peppery. And while that's going, we can get cracking on the duck here. So, canard sur le coffre, duck on the cuff, duck on the chest. Let's just call it canard sur le coffre, okay? Frenchies guys figure it out, so let's just go with that. So now we have here 2 duck magret. There's 2 different sort of, I guess, duck breasts. You have the regular duck, you know, that's been living its whole life, doing its thing. That's just called a duck breast or a duck suprême in French. This is pretty much, you know, regular duck breast. And then you have the Cadillac of duck breast, which is called the duck magret, magret canard in French. It's the duck breast that comes from the ducks that were farmed for foie gras. We are gonna do what I call the duck herringbone. So instead of like going square, I'm just gonna do some lines like this from the middle, and then same thing on this side. All right, here we go. Okay, now that's beautiful. See this here? It's gonna crisp up nicely. Come here, come here, come here, come here. See this? There's almost no liquid left. So now we can finally add some cold water in there. Water all the way up, and now we're gonna crank this back up, full crank, bring it back to a simmer. Honestly, I would probably suggest to like start this way ahead of like doing this thing, because as much as it looks like a big piece of meat, this is gonna cook fairly quick. So I would say do this maybe in advance the day before, you know, and then you have your stock, you can put it in the fridge and you can take the layer fat up easier. Time to season the duck. We're gonna keep it very simple. Some fine salt, and the trick here, I like to kind of have the salt going inside the cracks. You wanna like kind of move your little crevasses here as you sprinkle some salt. You already probably know after a couple of videos, but if you don't know, always make sure you start your duck breast in a cold pan. Cold pan is gonna render out some fat, discard some, duck back. You get it. You know what I'm saying. All right, cool. All right, so duck in there, and you wanna keep this on medium high. You know, medium high, medium, because if you do it too fast, what's gonna happen is you're gonna kind of like sear the outside of the duck, and then you're gonna trap all this fat inside. by doing it on like a medium temperature, you allow the fat to just render out until there's almost nothing left except for this nice thin crust of crispy, delicious duck fat. At this point, you can already tell this thing is a big pool of fat. Look at this, it's crisping up nicely but slowly, but look how much fat is in there. After only like 2 minutes, it's insane. So this, obviously we don't want it in there. Just discard this in our bowl of fat here. And then duck can go back in. Okay, so it's been 6 minutes on this side now, and look at this amazing, beautiful, crispy, golden skin. Next move, we gotta sear the sides. Just put it like this for a little bit. Okay, the duck has been seared on all sides. It's crispy, it's golden, it's beautiful. Let's put this in the oven. I have this oven set on 375 Fahrenheit. Bake, no fan, so it doesn't dry too much. And I'm probably gonna put it in there for like 5 minutes, you know, just to make sure it's cooked through. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. And like I said, I'd rather it be undercooked than overcooked. So let's take it out. Oh my God, look at this beauty. Oh. You might think we're done with this duck, but guess what? We just got started, guys, okay? So now I have all this rendered out duck fat on top here. So now I'm going full crank with a little tilt on the pan so all the fat that's here can become super hot, and that's gonna give our skin a nice little crispy finish. Now, for the most important part, I mean, you have to rest your meat. Always rest your meat. And ideally, you should be resting the meat for the exact same time that it's been cooking. So let's say it's been in the pan for like almost 10 minutes, then 5 minutes there. So we should give this a proper 15 minutes to rest. To add another layer of flavor to this duck, we're gonna be doing some sort of final light smoking action. But to smoke it, we're gonna use some hay, some dry hay. There's this very classic dish in France that's called the jambon au foin. So it's literally like it's a ham cooked with hay, but also you can do like a fresh hay duck, but it's hard to find at this time of the year, I guess. If you're in Montreal, it's, you know, impossible. So what I'm gonna do is take this whole thing here. I'm gonna spread this out, kind of loosen everything up. Oh my God, it smells like a barn. It's amazing. Now I understand why the horses are always eating this shit. Smells so good. We have our nice hay, dry hay nest here. Nice crispy duck. It feels like it's a little bit maybe under, but hey, like I said, I'm fine with under. Over is a big no-no. To have this nice little touch of smoke at the end, what I'm gonna do is literally use this torch here and set this thing on fire. And now, we cover it. And now another trick to trap the smoke, have a rag on top. And that's how you smoke a duck, baby! It's that time, you know? It's been reducing. I have a smaller pot here. Put this in there. Look at this color. No, there's not much in there. There's not much. Now I want to use this to push down everything to get all the juice in my sauce. So you can just press that down. Probably not the best trainer to do that, but you know, sometimes you gotta go with what you have. Squeeze like those orange in there, those onions, the garlic, everything is packed with flavor. Sometimes you don't use the right tool and this happens, you know? Wrong strainer, wrong tool, wrong everything. So this is good. This can go in the bin. In the bin, yes. So now what we have left here is this amazing duck jus, but we're gonna keep that reducing a little bit like this. And now we wait. The duck is resting. It's smoking. It smells like a freaking burning barn in here. It's amazing. You know, I'm thinking about my plating now. Like, what am I gonna do? Probably just gonna like lift up those two duck magret, slice them up, put them on a nice little plate, some sauce. Maybe I can do some chives, you know? Maybe you can do some chives. Should we do some chives? You cut the chives, you put it in a container. Just like this. Remember what I said earlier about adding some fresh orange juice at the very end for this nice little punch of fresh citrus? Well, that's exactly what we're gonna do right now. Okay. Wow. Oh yeah, you can really taste that nice touch of orange at the end. I'm gonna leave that on the lowest simmer while we unveil and carve this one I'm hoping will be the perfect duck. Ta-da! Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta! Look at this. Nothing short than a perfect duck. I think it is perfect. Let's carve some duck. I'm gonna take this here out of the nest. By the way, I've carved my fair share of cooked chicken or turkey, but I don't think I've ever carved a duck sitting on the rib cage like that. So let's find out if I can do it. All right, cool. So I think I'm gonna try to find the bone in the middle here. Yeah, here. I go like this. So you're just following the bone here. Make sure you don't get too much meat off. I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect. Just like this. Make sure you don't waste anything. Oh my God, look at this. It's perfect.
Because if it's a bird, you can eat it like medium rare.
Duck is always served medium rare. There's not the same disease as in chicken, like a quail. You could eat a quail like medium rare as well.
Right.
It's considered like red meat, yeah. Now it's almost time to plate, but before we get there, I gotta slice this duck so it's ready for presentation. Look at this perfection. This is nothing less than duck perfection. It's a good day, guys, it's a good day. I don't want to cut it too thin now. I want to get some nice slices. The skin is super crispy, just like that. See here? In the sauce. For plating, very simple. I want to get this here on the plate, like this. Just duck all around, like a duck flower. Imagine you're at your friend's place, you're just having a little glass of wine, you're chilling, talking about work, talking about, you know, your next trip to freaking Club Med, Mexico, I don't know, you know, just having a good time, and then the host, that's nice enough to have you over, even if you're a piece of shit, serves you this on a nest in the same hay was smoked in, and then you're just like, hey, here's your duck. You know, it's like, I'd be like, hey, I love you. It's not over because we have the sauce here. That's why you see here I left a little bit of a middle clear situation. So you're gonna go and so I'm gonna do little chives on top like this here. Just like a nice little line. Fleur de sel right on top. I would probably even do a bit of a pepper crack. So now imagine you're just like, oh, okay, like you have some guests over, dinner's ready, I don't know, like the baked macaroni is ready, and then like, oh, sure, yeah, again, and then, okay, and then you just go like this. Sometimes you win in life, you know? Today's a victory. Today is my first time roasting a duck on the rib cage. I was nervous, we smoked it, I smoked some, the duck smoked some, we all got smoky today. The alarm went off, my house smells like a fucking barn right now, but it was all worth it. It's tasting time. It's always my favorite part of every episode, guys. I'm gonna taste this duck, see what the vibe is. Oh my God, look at this. Perfectly cooked duck, crispy skin, rich sauce. I mean, I'm describing this thing before I tried it, but let's give it a try. Oh my God. Honestly, it might be a bit more work, but now I get the whole vibe of why people roast a duck on the rib cage, because you have all these flavors in the bones coming through. It's like, you know, like a roast always tastes better than a boneless piece of, you know, whatever. So that's very nice. You get the crazy duck flavor. It's cooked to perfection, and you know, skin is crispy, sauce is decadent, orangey, sweet, acid, little tart from the cranberries. It's a perfect thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's time to wrap this up. If you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it and eating it, make sure to go like the video. And you know, holidays is just around the corner. Let us know in the comments what would be your favorite thing to cook. I don't know where you're based out of, but here in Montreal is getting colder, which means, you know, more comfort food. Don't forget to subscribe. We already passed the 70,000 subscribers mark. So I'll see you on the next episode of Always Hungry.